Boys, we're live. Episode 2. Pitch and Paul talking balls. Welcome, guys, to the second episode with me, Steve Bailey, Dan Ives, and the boys who need no introduction, Paul Drinkhall and Liam Pishford. Boys, what's in our glasses this week?
Glass of Coke. Is there anything else in it? Who knows?
There's definitely something else in that.
Paul,
I've come loaded this week. I got a bit of water. I got a red wine because it's my dad's 60th. So happy birthday, Dad!
Happy birthday,
Dad.
The big
I've got
0.
I'm not singing.
Thank God. Dan, what have you got?
It's just orange. I was thinking about the vodka, but just orange tonight. Last night was a heavy
honestly,
one.
it was, we'll have a drink. I don't normally drink at all. And both weeks I came prepared. Pitch is like, it might be a Coke. Is it not? I'm the only one who's had a drink. So guys, big thanks for everyone who tuned in last week and all the positive comments. We asked for your feedback and we got it. We've got some really meaty topics, as Matthew Syed said on his podcast. We've got a couple to guys who commented. So big thanks for that. And we're looking forward to getting into it. We're going to start with a little quick fire round, the same as we did last week. We've chopped and changed it around a little bit just to kind of settle us down and so you guys can find out a little bit about us behind the scenes. So I think first up, it's pitch to Paul. All right?
I've gone easy.
Oh, this is great.
I've gone easy on you.
Come on, pitch.
Here we go.
Don't hold back.
I've gone easy on you.
I've gone easy.
Here we go. Full English or continental?
English. Full English.
Red or white wine?
Red.
Did that one because I knew what you had. I knew what you were drinking. Nike or Adidas?
Ooh. Adidas.
Good choice.
Beach holiday or more of a touristy holiday?
Beach.
What's a touristy holiday?
City, I guess.
City break.
What?
City.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Like travelling around and seeing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like New York.
Beach.
Yeah.
Didn't name, mate. Last one. Here we go.
I think there's some whiskey in that glass, Bales. There must be.
Right, here we go. Big one. Got to think about it. North or south?
North.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. There's
Have to
only
think
one winner
about
there,
that.
Pitch. You
Eh?
know that? There's only one winner there, isn't there? It's got to be.
Yeah, for us. He lives down south now. So.
Yeah, I know, mate. He's a traitor. I know. He's a traitor. Paul
Welcome to the
Pitch.
South
Can't
Pole.
understand you now, Bill. Sorry.
Yeah, I
What are
can
you
imagine. The same as most people watching this podcast. Paul Pitch.
I'm asking him, am I?
Yeah.
Right, I've gone easy as well this week.
Oh, boys, honestly, you can tell they play doubles together. This is incredible.
Last week I had to deal with Dan asking me
No.
to write an essay, so I get.
I shoved
Right,
under a
boys.
bus.
Are
Big
you ready, Pitch?
disappointment.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Beer or wine?
Yeah.
Cheese or chocolate?
Oh, cheese.
Cheese. He's a
Big
bit
shot.
cheesy.
Jesus, that's savage.
Massive shot.
I love cheese, mate.
Stand up or sit down?
Sit down.
Cinema or bowling?
Bowling.
Bowling. And kids or dogs?
Ooh.
Any-
I got to think before I answer this.
Quick fire.
Mrs. is watching.
Dogs.
Dogs. Ooh.
Oh, that's fair.
That's the second week running the pitches on the sofa. Unbelievable. Right, Dan, are you asking me or am I asking you? You pick.
Yeah, I'll ask you. Go on.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh.
First one.
You've
Don't worry.
you've
it's
said
not
you're
an
going
essay.
all out this week.
I'm nervous.
What have we got here? Grand Prix or British League?
British League.
Paul's forehand or Pitch's backhand?
Ooh.
In my game or in general?
Quick fire, Bales. First thing that pops in your
Quick
head.
fire.
Got to
For
be
me, it'd be Paul's forehand.
Big stuff.
easy.
Pay you later,
Easy.
Bales.
For me, so.
Plastic ball or celluloid ball?
Celluloid.
Celluloid, yeah.
for me.
Nadal or Federer?
Nadal.
Last one.
Might just go now.
Yeah.
Nadal. It's got to be Nadal.
I got asked this last week. Pitch or Paul?
Pitch gives better cuddles.
Come on, Bales.
I know, but Paul, on that basis, pitch does give a great cuddle. You know where I'm coming from, so you can see that. You know, as a player, it's got to be Paul for our history, but as a cuddler, it's got to be pitch.
From a cuddler.
From a cuddler.
You might want to get one. You might want to drink more of that whiskey, pitch. Jesus.
From a cuddling perspective, I've got to go pitch. I'd rather have a cuddle off pitch than pitches back, and that's how good his cuddles are.
Oh wow.
Dan, you would say his cuddles are world class.
What they're world leading. Oh yeah.
Well done.
Appreciate it.
Okay, Dan. This is my questions to you.
Go on, Dan.
Baby boys or baby girls?
What is this? This boys.
Baby
that doesn't give away anything.
Baby boys.
That's blue. Did he say blue? I can't remember. No, he said pink actually.
Okay. Liam Pitch or your bitch? Which one?
Gonna have to go with pitch.
Okay. Paul Drinks or your minx?
What was that one? Say it again.
Paul Drinks. That's this guy on the screen with the receding hairline. Yeah.
I didn't know it was going there.
Or your minx, as in the lovely Mrs. Ives.
I'm gonna have to, right. Didn't know what that was. A minx. Right. Yeah, I'll go with the minx. Sorry, Paul.
So pitch gets in over.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Well, last week. Come on.
Unbelievable. Okay.
Should I just go?
Dan.
Yeah.
Dan. Steve Bailey or Table Tennis Daily?
TTD. Definitely not you, boy.
He hates me. Honestly, boy. I've got feelings, you know. Okay. Table Tennis Daily or Will Bailey?
Jeez.
Oh,
it's difficult, that is. It wasn't difficult with me.
Because you try and call him 25 times a day, Bells.
You never answers.
Look, TTD has just put too much into my life and just destroyed me. So it's going to have to be TTD as much as I love.
So he's picking a website over people.
I'm going to have to.
Absolutely.
The website's...
Will, if you're watching, mate, I feel your pain. I'm with you. I feel that rejection daily when he doesn't answer his phone. We're in the same boat, mate. We're in the same boat. Okay, boys.
How many things rhyme with it?
They were good. They were good stuff, then, Bells. How long did that take you?
Thanks, mate. Oh, ages. Honestly, I've been working on it for hours.
Great stuff.
All week. Okay, boys. I'm going to get the live stream up on my phone because I know last week I was guilty of not loading up some questions. So this week I'm going to make sure that I do. And then I think we should talk some table tennis.
Absolutely.
Talk balls.
Yeah, we've talked some balls, that's for sure. So
I have to turn the volume down though, Bales. I don't know if you worked that out.
Yeah, I've just done that actually. So hi to everybody who has commented. Liam McTiernan with a very cheeky comment. We'll come to you later. Thanks for that. So Mark Tanner, he's been mentioned on a couple of these shows now with this question, which was regarding who would step up next and do a job for England. And he listed a few players on the men's side. Obviously, the current kind of selection you would look at, the last selection, Paul and Liam, Sam Walker and Tom Jarvis are obviously kind of broken in and done well, still young, still improving. So Mark was mentioned on a couple of podcasts, really, and it's a really kind of interesting question. And it's our first topic. So well done to Mark for bringing that to people's attention. And we're going to discuss it as well as to who we would take, who we would pick, who do we think can step up and do that job for England on an international level. So I'm going to come to Dan first on this one, actually. Dan, you've known a lot of these characters for a long time. You know, obviously go to these events, live and breathe in table tennis every single day, picking Table Tennis Daily over friends and people. So, you know, you're obviously a big fan.
What's interesting with this is as well, like Dan's coming, obviously me and Pitch are coming from inside the team. So it's interesting to see if
different
the two perspectives change or if they're very similar. Or
so, Dan, who do you think can step up amongst the names that have been kind of mentioned? Like 5 to 10 on the list.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got the list here. For me, okay. I think it's difficult because the international scene is so tough, right? There's a reason why Paul, Liam, and Sam and that are playing for England. They're, you boys are playing in the top leagues in the world. Paul, you've been in T2 league for a couple of years. Liam, German league, you're playing all the top leagues, so you're getting that high level practice all the time. So you can easily dive in and play for England and take on anyone in the world. And I think for someone to come in, it's actually difficult unless if they had, many years of playing in the top leagues and had that actual experience. Because, like Liam, when you first come on the scene, I remember you took out Vladimir Samsonov in a European team event. And I remember that was a big win at the time. And that was you're getting a lot of experience then, and you were only young. And I think that's why now you are playing for England. And so I guess the question is, who do I think could fill that spot? I think it's difficult for anyone to outside you boys because of that reason what I've mentioned. You guys are doing it full time. You're playing in all the top leagues. So if I was to say someone could do it right now, I mean, you got the top 5, you boys: Tom, Sam, Paul, Liam, Macbeth. After that, you've got Duran, Helshan, Sam, maybe Darius, Michael Driscoll. But, out of those top 5 there, yeah. Is that the question? Who could do it out of that? But
who are you going to take, Dan? Who are you going to take?
All right.
If you've got to take, say, 6 players.
I don't know where the fence is. Is the fence? It's the fence.
It's definitely parked under Dan's ass. If you're going to take 6 players, Dan, who do you take?
This is what I would. Yeah. What I would say is that, it needs to be in a way where these boys would need a couple of seasons of playing internationally, and who has the potential? Because I would say that someone maybe at number 15 may have more potential if they did 2 seasons of, doing what Paul and Liam have done.
Okay.
Can I just,
so if you're picking the team tomorrow, Dan.
Right, if I pick the team tomorrow, I'll take tomorrow outside of Macbeth. I would take.
So you definitely take Dave.
Oh yeah. Dave's included. Right, I'll take Dave. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Right. Tom Jarvis is not including this, right? He's already.
Yeah, no, he's included. You said the top 4.
Oh, is it just out of Liam and Paul that are out of this?
No, I mean, we're saying that, okay, so let's say you take Liam, you take Paul, you take Sam, and you take Tom. That's a pretty solid.
That's my 4. Yeah.
So then you got to take 2 more. Who do you take?
Right, got you. Fair enough. Sorry, boys.
Good job we've not spoke about this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Boys, I told you, boys, I've been trying to get a bike today. I've been running around Bristol trying to find a bike. It's been a nightmare. I had Steve calling me while trying to get a bike.
I saw you on the news at one point.
Yeah, because of those protests. Right, I'm going to take with me... All right, Macbeth will come along.
Come along.
Come along for the ride.
Stay on the bus though, but
yeah. Boys, I don't know. The next one in line, I think, for the level wise. I mean, Duran.
You take Duran. Helshan. Why?
What about Darius? Is Darius still playing? He's playing like British League, but he wouldn't.
Hello, mate.
I think you know what, boys? Stop it. No, hang on. Do you know what I'll do? I'll take a junior. I remember when Liam was like 12, he played against Wang Hao, and that was epic. Remember when you played Wang Hao, Liam? That was awesome. That's one of the best videos on YouTube.
Korean Open, wasn't it? He's about 16. He looked about 8.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But yeah, okay. No, I'll take a junior.
I think I was 15.
I think fair enough.
So I think it's the third. Dan, you would take a junior to get experience in these things.
I take Macbeth and I take a junior. I'll take a junior and I would take the Liam Pitchford approach. Get a young kid in. Play on Wang Hao. Liam versus Wang Hao was one of the most wonderful things I've ever seen.
Dan. So which junior?
Well, I'd have to take my son, Louis, wouldn't I? Louis Price. I can't. If I don't pick him, he's never going to talk to me ever again.
So you take Louis Price, yeah?
Let me think out the juniors. Joe Cope, Louis. There's a lot of them. I would take a young one. Yeah, I'll just take a young one.
Okay,
any of them that get that experience. So you Macbeth, I'll take, and then I'll just take a young kid. I'll take a young kid because I think the next in line now, you need young ones. You need people at like 12, 13 years old going out there, I think.
Yeah.
To actually, yeah.
Are we talking big events like?
Yeah. Liam, when you played Wang Hao, that was the China Open, wasn't it? Yeah, you were strong then. Don't get me wrong, but you still went to events when you were young.
So my point is, this is a team event. That wasn't a team event.
Yeah, it was a pro tour. It was Korean Open, I think.
Yeah.
No, we're talking like the World Team Championships, yeah?
Yeah. Well, Dan, I think that you've made a perfectly valid point there, saying, look, I'd take 5. Only 3 are going to play, realistically. But let's say you've got some funding and you've said, right, okay, well, I'm going to take 5 and I'm going to give a young guy some experience.
I want to see new, fresh blood. Yeah, I want to see someone else on the... as much as Paul and Pitch are great to watch, I love it. I want to see some other person crashing down that door.
So you'd not just only take this junior, you'd drop us out the team and put them in.
Oh, do you know what I do? I take the TTD team with me. How about that?
Honestly, he's ruthless.
Yeah, unbelievable.
TTD team on tour.
Everyone thinks he's a lovely guy. He's ruthless, guys. This is the real Dan Ives you see, and believe me.
No.
Honestly,
well, listen, TTD team on tour. We probably won't even make it to the venue. You know, we'll be...
Okay, so Paul,
that's a tough question.
It is a very tough question. I think.
Who do you take and your justification?
So for me, I'm taking the top 5.
So you take the top 4 yourself, Liam, Sam, and Tom.
Yeah, add Dave to that because I see Dave already kind of in the team at the minute. He's obviously he's studying and things now, but he's. Like if we're in camps and things, and again they're mostly in Nottingham, so it's accessible for him. But even if they're not, he'll make the effort a bit to go out of his way and be there.
Yeah. So you're taking Dave on standard in effect.
Taking Dave. I'm taking Dave on standard, absolutely. But also, for me, he's the only. I think that they're the top 5 at the minute are the only ones sort of putting themselves out there. Playing the tournaments. Dave's carrying a bit of an injury at the minute that he's been going through for quite a while now, but he's still been pushing because he wants to be part of it. He wants to put himself forward, and he's not getting a lot of help funding wise or anything like we've all been through at different times. And like obviously we're lucky enough now to have sponsors and to have got into that position to let them help out, but. Yeah, so for me, I see Dave as in the team, whether he's with us or not. Dave is your kind of clear 5, yeah? He's already in the team, yeah. And if it's a team event where we've got doubles, he's then in the top 3 for me. Because doubles wise...
That's really interesting.
Doubles wise, he's one of the best in the country. And mostly it's me playing doubles, and at the minute, I feel very comfortable playing doubles with Dave. I think his backhand flick puts anybody in the world under pressure.
I think what's really interesting there, Paul, as well, is that obviously with the new format, the first match is doubles. So suddenly the doubles is kind of all important. If you can win that, you won up. Then pitch is going on the table.
And I think at the minute, like singles levels down there are quite similar as well. But like for instance, in the Olympic qualification. Sam was there and he only played doubles matches. So I think sometimes in the country we, and probably other countries as well, to be fair, they forget the importance of doubles, and obviously it's kind of a new thing. Yeah. So it's creeping up and it's going further and further. It's getting bigger anyway. So like you said,
now it's key, isn't it? Because the first match in a tournament is doubles, so now it's a massive part. If
you go on first and can get that doubles match, you're 1-0 up, then you're number 1. Like Pitch is going on after that, and if he's got that advantage, it could play a slight difference in the outcome of that match. So for me, Dave is clear again on standard, on his willingness at the minute. He's the only. I mean, again, it's not all based on true fact because I've not been following Duran and Darius and O'Driscoll and Helshan and Sam maybe around and seeing what they're doing on a daily basis. But as far as I'm aware, they're not. You know. Even if they ask themselves truthfully, are they doing what they could be to be in the England team? I don't think they could answer yes. But on the other hand, we're in a situation where those could be the guys. If me and Pitch got injured, or if 2 others got injured, they're the ones that we're looking to, or the young blood again. But I think if they ask themselves, and if people ask them honestly, then they'd probably agree that they're not doing their best to be there. But I think. As the number 6, again, very, very tricky. I mean, those are all the names that have been mentioned. Duran, Helshan, Darius. They've all kind of came up in this mix. But again, like Dan went down an interesting route, which is
Do you take a junior to?
Yeah, I think youth. There's always a time and a place for youth. I think possibly as a number 6, that could be the time. I mean, the likelihood of us having 6 players at a major event is very unlikely because
I know. Yeah,
but and like you say, 6 is there very much as a team. The chances of them actually getting on that table for a match, unless you've got good strength and depth, it's so slim that they're there for so many other things. Like even the number 4 is there for me for either doubles or for standard for singles.
Yeah.
And then you've got 5, and if you've got 5 and 6, they're there to be learning youth, like Dan said, and for me, I mean, I'm only going off this nationals, and we played the doubles against Joe Cope, and he had a lot of decent quality in his shots and things, and I'm only going from that. And again, I don't know enough about the other juniors, so I might be totally wrong on that. But they're there to support the team, so you need somebody with the character that's going to sit there and know that they're going to be sat on a bench, know that they're going to be used for that week as a practice partner, but they need to get the best out of themselves during that week.
Yeah.
And improve during that week, not just be there. I'm number 6 sitting on the bench. That's not the mentality you want. You need somebody who's going to give energy. And at the minute, I mean, again, I could say I'm sitting on the fence, but I wouldn't have a number 6. Even if I could take 6, I wouldn't take 6 because
but you have to. For this, you've got to take 6.
I've got to take 6 players.
Yeah, I'm going to make you.
Okay. What's 6? I've got us 5.
You've got your first 5. Who do you take?
It's a funny one. I mean, yeah. I mean, Gav's. I mean, again, I don't know how the others are training, but Gav's probably training just as much and being just as professional. And Gav Evans, he's the coach, but he's. I honestly think he's in great shape. Like when he's training and stuff, he's in great shape. Obviously, he's not played matches and stuff for a while.
Player coach.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Paul. I'll accept that you don't know too much about the juniors, but are you saying that you take a junior?
As a number 6, I would look more to at this moment in time. I think given sort of Duran. I think Duran on the national scene, very good, can challenge most players on his day, and he's done well in the Grand Prix. I think not that long. Well, it was quite a while ago, probably looking at my hairline, but he tried kind of the internationals, going to Pro Tours and things, and yes, funding himself as again we all did, and we've all been through that. But for me, nothing really happened, and I think he quite quickly noticed that. And again, Helshen is always been going. Very, very talented player, very hard worker. He's been coming through some good results, but I think he's always in the back of his mind not continuing with table tennis.
So you're not taking Duran on standard. You don't think he's going. Helshen, you don't think he's really gearing up for table tennis, so he's out of the picture.
If I was I'd take a junior. I can't name a junior because I could only name Joe Cope off the nationals playing against him.
That's
but
fair.
I would take a junior to learn and to do them things over what we've got. But I think for me, a big thing with this is an issue we have. We need to keep players. We need to keep Duran happy. We need to try and find the way to keep all of these players involved in table tennis, to a good level, to a good extent. And again, I don't have the answer to that.
So even though they maybe can't step up and do a job, you think it's important to keep playing in this country to give some strength and depth? Yeah,
absolutely. Because if the issue, if they step away and don't play and don't want to continue, then the likes of Joe Cope and Lewis Price, the next generation, they've got such a big gap from them now to us that it seems like. Whereas if you've got these small stepping stones,
there's no logical pathways. There's no clear pathway for them.
And I think that's like sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. That's why I'm looking away. But I think what a lot of people say, we can't afford to go out and do it. But as I say, I've had a couple of years where I've paid everything myself, and there was a few years where it was myself because after injury, I didn't have a sponsor. Qualified for the Pro Tour finals that year, paid for myself to go there, played in no branded T-shirts. So, yeah, I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of help in the past, but there has been periods in my career where I've had to go out and put it all on the line myself. And
you think that people need to be doing that in order to show that attitude?
Absolutely. I think it's different. And again, people say that, for instance, we don't play enough national competition.
I'm going to stop you there because that's kind of the second thing as well, a different topic. So we'll come back to you there because I want to come to pitch, but we will come back to that because I think that the conversation will go in that direction.
No, it's not. It's not to do with that. But I think that I'm not going down that route. But I think that people say sort of we shy away from national competition, but I mean, kind of ridiculous in a way because if we could earn the living playing national competition and get good competition that would help us improve our game to go abroad and play world championships, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. There's no time in the calendar to do that. But I think what a lot of the 5 to 10 players do, and again, it's very difficult because there's not enough funding to keep sending them abroad and they can't create enough funding through the sport to keep sending them abroad. But because I say everybody's had that to do that, but I don't think it's enough to say I've won most of the national competitions this year, so I then should be in the team. Now you've got to go out there and prove you prove yourself in one respect in that way, and you've sort of ticked that box. But you've got to at least touch a little bit internationally and show that you can perform on that stage for me. And I don't at the minute. Absolutely, the last couple of years, 3-4 years, absolutely nobody in that list 5 to 10, from what I know and seen, has done that. So I'd have to look into the younger players. Okay,
that's really interesting. There's a lot we could say on that. There's maybe another big conversation on that, which would be really interesting. But yeah, Pitch, let's come to you on this.
I'm just re-looking at my points just to check.
You've kind of got that experience as well. You're up there.
How do I follow that though? Yeah.
With some difficulty.
Yeah.
So who do you take and why?
For me, I 100% agree with Paul about you need to show that you're willing to, invest in yourself first, get the result. I mean, like Paul said, we've all been there. I know I've been there. I've paid for tournaments for myself, probably 3 or 4 years where we went, without getting a Pro Tour paid by the association. People kind of don't see that part of it.
No, I don't think people know that.
Because we still go to Pro Tours because, me and Paul, we've got good sponsors. Sam, I know he gets some from his sponsor, but, the other guys that we're still doing it, say Tom, Dave, the others before that at some points were having to pay for themselves. Whereas for me, I think nowadays, I don't see the willingness to do that really.
Yeah. So that's obviously a kind of justification as to why you would or wouldn't take someone. So of those names that have been kind of bandied about, you picking the team.
Yeah. But the question was, who do I think do I think anybody can do a job if they have to step up into the team?
Bailey's thrown a bit of a curveball, hasn't he?
Honestly, I will not let this go. I will not let this go because I know that people are fascinated by this because there's been so much talk about it. I've been keeping an eye on comments and stuff.
For me, I'd have Dave in there 100%. I think even a couple of years ago he was beating Yoshimura. He beat Shoyun Ray. I don't know if you remember Shoyun Ray.
Yeah, the Korean guy.
He was up and down, but at one time he was, I'd say, top 20 in the world.
He was top 20 in the world?
Yeah, I beat him there.
And he was...
That's right.
And he was improving. He was playing really well. And then, he got slightly injured. And I think he didn't get the support that he should have done. And, we didn't keep him involved. And I don't really understand that. For me, you need to keep somebody like that, and we need him as a team. We need somebody like that, and the guys, behind that. Yeah. We need them because Tom needs someone pushing him, to improve. And then with that, if Tom improves, then he pushes Sam, which makes Sam improve. And then Sam improves, that pushes me and Paul to improve.
It's been a big thing that actually, mate, it's been a big thing that people have said and everyone seems to agree with, that, you know, you need that strength and depth and those pool of players coming through.
Yeah.
National centre. Sorry,
yeah.
It's another bit of a Tourette's there, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I think Dave, so you said Dave is your kind of clear five as well. So your first four is you, Paul, Sam, Tom, and Dave Macbeth. So you've got to take a sixth. Obviously, the question's been asked, can one of these guys step up, or what do you do? So, Paul, you're going to have to wait.
I think Bales is fishing for a place here in his story.
You'd have to go pretty far down the list, and you'd have to go back about 15 years, mate, believe me.
Is someone going to say my name?
Okay. You take the TTD pitch.
Do I think he could do a job right now? No.
Who?
Any of the rest. I don't.
You don't think any of those boys can do a job, no?
Right now, at this moment in time, if we have to send a team to a World Championships and they have to step into play, no. But I'd say that. Do I think? You know, okay, me, Paul, and Sam, we've proved. You know, we've done it. We've been in those situations. You're playing a World Championship quarter final. Tom hasn't had that experience. Can he in the future? Yeah, I think he could. But he wants it, and he's professional. He's investing in himself. And yeah, I think I don't see that from the other players. And
okay, so you've got your first five. Dave is a clear five there for you.
You want this answer?
Yeah, mate. I'm not going to leave you alone. So you've got, and there's some comments coming in that I want to get to actually, but you've got to take a sixth. So who do you take and why?
I think I'm gonna have to take Dan and Paul's route, and I have to take a junior for the experience. I don't. I wouldn't say that normally, especially, if we're taking 4 or 5, I wouldn't go down that route. But I say if it's a sixth, then I'd probably, have to go down that route.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's more than viable. It makes sense.
Paul made a good point with saying that if you take a sixth, they may not play any matches, but they're going to be knocking with the players in the training hall, watching the lifestyle of an athlete in the World Championships, and that experience is just massive. Because sometimes you need that. In basketball, you get that because they've got like 20 players on a team, but only 10 player, whatever. It's maybe one of the problems with table tennis is that it's hard to get that experience if you're not at the level.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting as well because you don't. Sometimes I think as in every country, but also in England, that people are taken it slightly too young when they're not ready to go there and take the experience.
Yeah,
they go there. They go there and they're good, sort of, they're training and doing all that, but they go home and they've not really learned much and that's when they're too young. But I think if you take them at the right time, and also for me, what's important in that role is somebody who gives energy, because you have people who give energy, some people who take energy, some people sort of in the middle, not really either side of that line. But if you've got a youngster who's sort of taken away, because you're still there to do a job as a team. So if the youngster's there learning, but actually it's taken away from the team at that one time, then that's taken priority over doing well in that tournament. So again, not answering who it is.
On the bench as well, Paul, to an extent, on the bench you play every single match.
Yeah.
And you're right, you have to bring that kind of energy and be a real team guy and be ready to knock any time.
Yeah.
So that's important. I mean, there's some comments coming through, which, I mean, in my view, I agree with all you boys to an extent.
Who would you take, Bills?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, poor Steve. We just left Steve out again, haven't we?
He's taking himself out.
Well, Dan, you always leave me out. Actually, you never answer your phone to me, and it's very upsetting.
You sound like don't start.
I don't want to spend too much time on that because I'm a very delicate flower, and I might get a little bit emotional, and I've had a drink as well. So
you need a Liam Pitchford hug.
I need a Pitchford special hug. So obviously, Paul, Liam, Sam, and Tom for me, the first 4. I think Tom's upped his level to be a number 4 now. He's only young. He's got things to learn, but he's obviously starting to show that he's had some good wins. He was unfortunate to run into Paul in really good form in the semis this year in the Nationals. But I think he's somebody he's making that kind of commitment. He's obviously a fit guy. He's training hard. He's playing abroad. So yeah, he's my 4. I would agree with taking Dave at 5, Dave Macbeth. because very similar to what Paul said, I think he's a good doubles player. I think it's really interesting Paul to be one of the best doubles players in this country. Not seen him enough to know that, but I can remember seeing Dave training when Paul was at Bremen in Germany, and I came out and Dave was in the practice hall. He was doing really well.
How many years has he done sort of behind the scenes? That's the thing,
you know, he didn't look out of place. He does have that incredible backhand receive. He's got great timing. His game's more aggressive than what it was. I know now he's studying things, but I would take Dave as a 5, and I think he's better than the likes of Chris Duran and Helshin and all these other guys kicking about. I think his level is higher. And I think something that I picked up on, I'm looking at some of we'll call them podcasts, I don't know what the real name is, but a lot of players who play the Grand Prix are saying, what about Duran, what about this? Chris seems like a really nice guy. I don't know him massively well, but I know him. And I think he's the type of guy you want kicking about. He's got a good style. He's good to watch. I mean, Paul, when I come to the Nationals with you, Duran's someone that I'll watch. You never know what he's going to do next.
I think, like Paul said, he's good for the younger player, to aim at.
It's a different style as well.
It's a different style, but I would challenge anybody. Liam McTiernan, who's left a comment. Liam, I don't know you. I think you come across very well on these podcasts, but we missed each other. I was coming out the game as you were coming in. You said earlier you would take Duran as a 5. I would challenge you to sit
as a
where
5?
I sat. Yeah, you would take Duran, yeah. So to sit where I've been very fortunate to sit with Paul at some world-class events and be in the practice halls, if you're going to put Duran amongst that lot with the way he plays and things, he's not going to do a job at that level, mate. In my opinion, he's not going to do a job at that level. I think he's a good player to keep around, but he's not going to step up the way that Dave could. And let's say that Dave might play Chris Duran in the final of the Grand Prix somewhere, and the level's not massively different. So Duran could beat Dave, but if they then go to an international tournament and play against guys who are better, Dave has got a much better chance with the way he plays, I believe. I think he can threaten those guys, but I don't think at that level Chris can. Chris is a very good national player, certainly a better player than I ever was, but I don't think he can really do that. And as well, you boys have discussed a lot about if people are doing the right things. I don't think he's thrown himself in that mix. I don't think he plays abroad anymore. I think he coaches a lot. So I think he enjoys being that player who's just outside of it. Darius is doing different stuff. So Darius doesn't make it for me. Darius is doing his business and everything. Helshin is okay, but again, the same as you boys have said, I don't think he's stepped up to that. So even before you boys said this, I would take a junior as a number 6. Or somebody like...
But
this is somebody that... Definitely not me. This is somebody that I know nothing about really, but you've got that kid, Sam, maybe kicking about or 9 or 10. The only time I've seen that lad was this year at the Nationals, the year before. So I can't comment on what he does in training or what he's like as a guy or his attitude. But he's obviously a young guy, and he's 8 or 9, I believe. So you look, and if I'm Gavin Evans, I'd be keeping an eye on him thinking, right, well, okay, so is he somebody that is doing the right things in Europe? Is he training hard? Has he got the game to compete? So could he come as like a 6, like Dan's pointed out, to gain experience as half an eye on the future? So my 5 is Paul, Liam, Sam, Tom, Dave Macbeth on standard and on everything else. After that, I don't see the other boys really stepping up to do a job, so I would take... I know Kopi's name's being kind of mentioned. Kopi will be buzzing, I know Kopi. The Joe Cope will be giving it, my God, I've been mentioned. You've got to work hard. I practice for you just for the sake, you're not bad. But this doesn't mean that, you've got to still plug away. Even though these boys might take you, all right?
Your camera's not down wherever you're pointing, Bill. So I don't know what you're pointing
at. I'm a very visual talker. So I guess we've all said the same. Dan is maybe different, but...
If you were to take, let's say one of these players did get the opportunity, then maybe their approach to the way they conduct in the sport may change as well. Do you know what I mean? So what if, let's say, Luke Saville was given the opportunity? He went there, number 6. He's like, right, that's it. I've got an in here. I'm going to go to Germany now and train for the next 4 years. Like, maybe that's what it needs. Maybe this is why in England the dropout rate's so high. Potentially, I don't know. Is that something? Because maybe they're not really showing they're the level now, but they could be the level in 4 years' time.
Dan, that's a great point, and it ties in well with some of the comments. The fact you've said that is really interesting, because you've got, there's the likes of Jimmy Walsh here. I know Jimmy, he's a great guy, and his son Ethan plays. Yeah, and he said Ethan's lost almost 2 stones in body weight over the past few months. So he's someone there you look as a junior and think, well, hang on a minute, is he thinking, do you know what, I'm going to have a crack at this?
I think that's where Taylor England needs to step in and, you know, go around and see what everybody's doing, you know, individually.
If there's a junior player there who's kind of making the right noise and saying, well, hang on, I don't know where the kid's ranked, but I know he was a top junior. So you think, well, is he kind of making the right noises? And someone's also commented, Reid or Bagley, which is obviously Danny Reid or Andrew Bagley. Bagley's name came up earlier as well. What do we think, boys?
I think he's been very good at his time, and there was a time when he was up there with the best in England, but very hard to say at the minute. I've not seen him play table tennis for a long time. I've not seen him in Pro Tours. I've not seen him in England. He might still play in Polish league, possibly. Last time I heard, he was playing in Poland a couple of years back.
Yeah, he plays in Poland, yeah.
I'm fairly sure that Jason Segru said on one of the podcasts, who I think spoke a lot of sense in many ways. He said Bagley is a clear 4, but no one's seen Bagley for 3-4 years. He's 37 now. He's my age. He's been playing ping pong. So I
think he's been there and he's been around and he's done a lot for the team on his standard, and he was very good at beating players who were ranked lower than him and finishing games off. But I mean, I can't say no because again, I've not seen him. But from what we have seen, I wouldn't put him in that top 5. If he's there available as a 6, maybe. But again, he's like you said, if he's 37 now, he's. You know, would he be happy sitting on a bench and not really being involved? Probably not. So again, probably not the right guy then to take to.
What we've lost yours, Paul. Pitch yourself.
Yeah, like Paul said, I haven't seen Andrew play for. I can't remember last time. Probably at Nationals, whenever last time he played.
Which will be 3-4 years ago now. I would have thought.
Yeah, maybe even more. I think, like Paul said, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, he was a clear number 4.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't think so. You know, I don't know if he's still playing or not. So it's difficult for me to comment on that. But like you said,
Danny Reid obviously is doing different stuff. You know, Danny's a big friend of mine and Paul's, came through the same club and stuff. But you know, Danny kind of took himself out of that really. Yeah. He pursued a different.
Again, very, very, like a big shame. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he
big
was
part
fantastic.
of the team.
Yeah,
big part of the team for so long. Like good part of the team. Again, gives energy and stuff. And like that gone. And again, I think I've seen it mentioned somewhere else. You know, obviously people are individuals and they make their own decisions, but like there should be more of a pathway for players so that you know Table Tennis England can hold on to players for an extra 2 or 3 years, and then they might go into coaching or they might do something, but some sort of pathway. And again, I think from what I've heard, that's trying to, you know, they're putting things in place and stuff. But there's been far too many players in the past gone out, good players, sort of just below the team, bit below that, and you don't see them for years.
That was the thing. We had a few years ago, we had a lot of strong players, you know, vying for a place in the team. That even, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, we had, you know, 10 players, I'd say, that could have got a space in the team, really.
Yeah.
And now, if one of us gets injured, you're looking and thinking.
There does seem to be a gap. And it's worrying. And this has happened before in English table tennis. You know, when we talked last week about, you know, Paul, I wish that you would have been able to go as a number 4 or 5 when you were 16, 17 to these events. We're talking about sending a top junior to learn from senior pros. It would have helped your development massively. But there wasn't that there because the top seniors had gone and they weren't at that level. So we're all saying, well, you know, we'd send the junior as a number 6. And I think, you know, it may look that these guys aren't coming through. Where's the next Paul? Where's the next pitch? You know, where's the top juniors? I don't know enough because I don't see these top juniors. But I don't see anybody who's really coming through the way that you guys came through. Pitch, you had that year at the Nationals where, you know, you turned up and your level had improved so much. Paul, you had a couple of seasons like that as well. Like, where's that next guy coming from?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Might be somebody there. I'm not in touch enough. You guys might turn around and say, well, no, actually, there is. But it would seem by what
again,
maybe
for me, there's a bit of an issue, like, in the system as well, in the way that, like you say, Pitch was I don't know how old are you when Sheffield was open, Pitch?
Yes, I mean, I was, 14, 15, but when I first went, that's the thing, when I first went to Sheffield, I was going after school. So
that's what I mean. It's like there was a national centre.
Practice. Now, when I first went there, I was practicing with the women. I don't know if you remember before.
Yeah.
You sneak. Pitch giving it the winks. Hey, you clever man.
Here he is. Obviously, at the time, Joe and Kelly, for me, it was good practice. But, I didn't make that move until Jai said, right, now you can practice with men. Now you could, it takes time to.
But I think that's the difference. Back then, we had a national centre, so there was availability for someone like Pitch or somebody who was willing or was local to go after school and to practice. Whereas now that's missing as well. And yeah.
I know, Pitch, when you were younger, obviously you had Sean Cullen and Danny Lowe as like rivals at school and club mates and stuff. So all three of you were a ridiculously strong trio. Like, do you think then if the national centre weren't there, then potentially you wouldn't be where you are today? Was that really important then in terms of like your training at a young age? I don't know, like.
Yeah, the fact that you're seeing these guys, Liam, and they're accessible for you has got to play a part, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, and like I've said before, I think that's why the generation below us probably didn't get to see us enough. They didn't, because we'd all moved abroad. We had to move abroad. I think, at a certain time when Sheffield closed down, we all had to make that sacrifice.
Mm.
And then
so then, where's the role models for these guys to look at? Pitch?
Exactly.
They can't come and see you practice.
That's the thing, yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Right, boys. So I think that our 5 is Paul, Pitch, Paul, Sam,
Talking balls. Sorry.
Tom, Dave at 5, and a junior or a young player who's making all the right noises at 6. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Honestly, sack the selection committee. We'll just do it. Matthew Stanford, I want a job. What's going on? You speak to Mills. Do you know what I mean? Let's get it sorted.
You want a job as a player or a selection committee?
Definitely a selection guy, mate.
All right.
If I try and play, I'll run around the back and fall over. Okay, so the next kind of topic, that was really interesting, I think. And thanks for all the guys who were commenting and getting involved. The next kind of topic is one from Chris Collins. And Chris was talking about different styles at the international level. The obvious one is obviously talking about the disappearance of defenders and all this stuff. That's all been done before. But what do you guys, I'm going to come to Paul on this first, because you're a little bit older than the other two. Sorry, mate. And you've seen.
How old are you, Dan?
Dan's older.
I'm 25.
No, but in terms of seeing the international players and playing against them, Paul, you've seen the game progress long because you've been in the sport longer. So what do you think about the styles at the top? Is there room for different styles? We see a lot of guys who play the strong 2-wing top spins. What do you think?
It's a very, very difficult question because obviously recently, like Matthias Falk, pimples on the forehand, short pimps on the forehand, get into the final of the Worlds, and
that
sort of at that.
That was.
Yeah, at that level, you look at it and you think, okay, he's got short pimps. I'm gonna target that as a weakness, and generally it is a weakness. But I think this is sort of not just on Matthias. This is on the whole game now. I think with the changes in the balls and things, it's opened up the game so much to be a very aggressive, sort of slightly less spin, open game play it's forced people to play that way now. And I think people are getting a lot more physical, and they're having to because it's the rallies are going slightly longer because there's less spin.
Do you think that Falk with the short pimples on the forehand would have got to top 10 in the world before the ball change?
I mean, who knows? I'm not taking anything away from him. He's got to top 10 in the world, and he's all credit. He's like mentally, he's very strong. So you can't put it past him because he believes in himself. At 9-all, he knows what he's doing, and he's always in and amongst it. And even on his bad days, he's always sneaking sets and doing the right thing. So I think
actually, in the Bundesliga this year, you'll know because you play there. He's one of the top players as well. He's again. He's that top kind of 2 or 3. You know, that like final of the Worlds, it's no fluke.
No, absolutely.
He's consistently performing week in, week out as well in his club matches.
That's what I was going to say. It's not a fluke. He is top 10 in the world right now. I think for me, it's probably. I mean, he's got an amazing backhand. He knows what his game is, and he believes in himself. And his, as I say, mentality 8 or 9 or nothing phases him. He goes out there, he takes his breath, does his little shuffle, gets on and plays. And I think, you know, give credit where credit's due. What an amazing achievement and career he's had. I mean, in the juniors, I think same year as me, he was up there, but he wasn't the best. Yeah. But he's stuck in there, and again, like what an amazing career so far. And I think he's got more in him as well. That's the amazing thing. And what was interesting is he didn't get to the final. I know you're in the world final. You're not just going to say, there you go, have it. But he really, deep down, you could see it. He believed he could win that match. And it wasn't just, like I think that. But on the actual question, we went way off. I don't know how we got there. But I don't think there is, at this moment in time, with the changes that have been made in the game, I don't think there's that much space for that many unique styles and changes in styles. As I say, that the change in ball that's brought in less spin and things has made it a much more open game, and let's go and attack each other. And I think even if you look at some of the players that were, I mean, even Vladdy to a certain extent, for me, he's got more aggressive in the last few years, and normally he's adapted so well to the game that's why again he's staying at the top of his game. But I think Timo Boll, now you see him ripping shots, shot after shot after shot. He was always got the spinny guy that got around. Now you see him ripping balls, and he's taking the Chinese on in top spin, and I think that's the way the game's going. And unless there's more changes with that at the minute, that's where it is. I think it's good at the minute. You know, the level of play across the board and the standard is really good.
Pitch, what do you think about the styles question? In your experience, you've obviously played at that level as well. What do you think about, is the room for, I mean, obviously Falk is the obvious one we've discussed with Shaw Pimples on the forehand, but is there room for defenders? Is there room for different styles?
I think
do well at that level?
Personally, from my experience, I think that the amount of unique styles is, decreasing for me. There's not as many, before the new ball came in, like Paul said, there was more, more pen holders, more short pin balls, more defenders. Nowadays, I think it is, I do think the level's improved. There's people are playing at a higher standard, but I think it's become a little bit where people are playing the same game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that good for the sport? Yeah, that's another question. I think.
Pitch. So let me ask you this then, right? If you were coaching a young player now, let's say you finished playing and you're a coach, and you get a player who comes along who's got certain attributes, he's got very good movement, he's a great athlete, and he's got a great hand. In the 90s or the 80s, you might have said, you know what, this guy could be a top defender. Yeah. And you think this guy's got real potential to get to a top level. Would you think, I'm not going to give him that style because that's not going to work?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think, you see all the Chinese these days, the pen holders are becoming less and less, even in China. And people are playing, players are playing the same game, and I think that's the way it's going. I think, even the next 5 or 10 years, there'll probably be no defenders, or even less than there are now, less pen holders, and pretty much everybody will probably be playing the same way.
Until the Chinese change it again.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you think?
Now, that's interesting that Liam just said there, like, maybe in 5 or 10 years' time, there'll be no defenders, but which is interesting. Obviously, like, you've got Jonas on the circuit and Ruan Phillips and stuff. Like, do you think that their level now, it's easier to play those boys with the plastic ball then? Like, let's say 5 years ago, was it harder?
I think it's sorry, you're talking to Pitch.
I know, Eva, yeah. Eva guys, yeah.
I think Ruan Felix is slightly different because he attacks so much anyway. So I think I mean,
he's in a defensive attacker, isn't he?
He's still defensive, yes, but I think he's one that can really adapt to changes like this.
Yeah, but he still chops on that backhand, though, Paul. He still defends with the backhand.
Just a point about that, though. So Fearless doesn't get a look in really in the German team.
Yeah.
Same with Muramatsu. Muramatsu went to, I think, 2013. He went to like 20 in the world. He was, should have been in the Japanese.
Defender.
He got selected because he was a defender.
He's probably just a training partner now.
Yeah.
I think as well. What's interesting with this is, like, I think in the past and stuff, like personalities, you see personalities within people's games, and I think that is something that needs to continue. You can't, for me, you can't go out onto a table tennis table and play like something totally different. I think most of the time you can get across personalities, and that's how you get the best out of the player if you work through their personality. And I think maybe with this new ball, that's taken that away slightly. Matthias Falk is managing to keep it at the moment. Samsonov, as we mentioned, I think those sort of players are managing to keep it. And I think because, again, mentally, they're, for me, very strong players. And I think Dmitry Ovcharov is now, I think he lost it a bit when the ball change came in, but he's now clicked back into that and managed to get to it. Yeah, and I think that's something that from a young age in this country, in every country and stuff as well, that we need to work with people as people. And
I think, Paul, I think that's a really good point. And I have a kind of view on that. And, history repeats itself now. This is where, Paul, you're going to start laughing. But in the 70s...
I'm going to go to sleep here, Bill. So.
Yeah, you'll go to sleep.
Someone wake me up when it's finished.
I was a student of the game, but, saw defence is out. Bengtson and all the Swedes said defence is out. It's no good. Then Takashima, the Japanese, came along and chopped him to bits. And then, obviously, in the 80s, there was Lee Gun-sang. He chopped him to bits. Then there was Lee Gun-sang, the North Korean, in the 80s. Now, then, even as far as 2003, choppers are dead. Choppers have got no place. Spiegel, the pimples have changed. This has changed. And then Jussi Hug gets to the final of the Worlds. Now you've got Felix, Jonas, as kind of you guys have said. I know it's changed again since then, but can it keep evolving?
Yeah, I think, again, very interesting. But we're not saying there's not going to be another defender or not going to be another pen holder that makes it to the top. But there's not going to be 20 inside the top 100.
Yeah.
That's and whether or not there ever was. But like, and I think it's interesting because it's interesting that they keep coming round in cycles in a way. But because normally, if there's not many top defenders in the world, there's no real sort of role models for people to say, "Oh, I would like to play like that." So it's interesting that somehow it manages to keep going. But I think it's it's interesting. You need to keep your purse tight. I think there'll be defenders, there'll be pen holders, there'll be people with pimples who come through and sort of be the one or the two that make it through that. But as a whole, I think, like Pitch said, at the minute, if it stays as it is, it's people pushing people to play in a very similar way.
I think as well, you need to look at this kind of question of styles. So you look at the English guys over the years who've done well. Des Douglas was basically a blocker, as brilliant as he was. And everybody else was top spinning. He was our top player. Carl Preen, very unorthodox long pimps on his backhand, far from orthodox technique. John Hilton was...
Liam Pitchford, very unorthodox.
He was the champion. So there's lots of guys over the years in England. Matthew Syed, a retriever, couldn't really hit at that level a little bit. Amazing kind of retriever. But they all played at a great level. And yet in England, I think we see a lot of coaches saying, you have to play this way. This is the only way to play. What if that guy doesn't have the ability to play that way, but he can play a different way?
Yeah, I think that point, to be honest. I think in England, I don't know if it's intentional or not. I think we coach out, people's, sort of different qualities. They have something different.
Personalities.
I wouldn't say I'm very orthodox, to be honest. And, when I first went in Sheffield, started practicing with Jai, Jai was trying to get me to do, forehands like Paul, forehand from stepping around and forehand from wide. I couldn't do that.
And the office and everywhere else.
That wasn't me. And then I think I was lucky that, Jai kind of came round and understood that, I wasn't going to be the player that's going to be stepping round. So I had to adapt and find a different way to.
Yeah, and I think I've seen over the years in English table tennis, coaches will say, a kid who's 12 or 13, his forehand does this, they've got no chance. How can you say that to a kid who's so young? When Carl Preeton's forehand was all over, but it was world class. Then you got Schlager who wins the worlds with a forehand that goes like this. You got Gattians who's like this. You got Marlongs, it's massive. We in England think, right, well, it's got to look like that, or it's no good.
Yeah. I think to a certain level, a lot of people around the world do that. Obviously, the better ones come through it. But I think, like you said, here we don't have a big enough pool to pick and choose if they've got a slightly off technique. I think, like you said, if you walk into a hall, there's almost if it was sort of a silhouette of a person, you'd have to fit perfectly to even get into the hall or to get into somebody's mind. If not, you might as well just leave.
But I think what's really interesting is that, play should influence technique. Technique shouldn't influence play. By that I mean, if a technique is effective, then you adapt it, and it takes a great coach with great knowledge to say, right, this young player has got a backhand that looks like this or whatever. That's an individual trait that can be developed. That's not something that's going to hold them back.
Well, like
Ovtcharov coming over to the forehand side and pushing with his backhand. There's no way he would have survived over here. He wouldn't have.
In England,
he would have
he'd have been crucified for that.
Yeah.
He'd have been crucified for that. And
what were you going to say, Pitch?
Well,
you were going to... Yeah.
I was just going to say it all boils down to... For me, it doesn't matter, what someone's technique looks like. If they know how to win, then that can be worked on. So you need to... Like, for me, so many kids get written off.
Yeah, that's right.
And, there's just no need because, I mean, you can... Okay, I wasn't... I was up there in the cadets and juniors in Europe, but I wasn't the best. People develop later on, and some people it takes longer.
I spoke to a few players about the whole style thing quite a lot over the last few years. Always the whole plastic ball versus cellular ball era and how the styles have changed. And a lot of players all seem to come to the conclusion that you've got to be a lot more complete now as a table tennis player. Back in the day, one player could have a decent weapon, whether it's a forehand or a good serve and now the game is you've got to have the backhand side, the forehand side. Players before pivot a lot and play forehand from the backhand side with big power. But now you can block that. The ball doesn't give you that same momentum like it used to. So players are having to become more complete and, a lot more finer areas of the game have become more important. Whereas before, Ru Su-ming, for example, I remember when he played in the German league not that long ago with the plastic ball and someone like Patrick Francisco destroyed him because Ru Su-ming's got no backhand at all. And then Patrick Francisco was just playing his backhand top spin cross-court, And Ru Su-ming was all forehand back in the day.
Totally agree with that. And I think exactly people need to... But what I find very interesting is with most of these changes, with time, you get a couple of people maybe dropping out and a couple of people breaking that barrier. But it is the same people who find a way to do it. And I think, interesting on what Pitch said, I think it's linking with that is a little bit, is the winning. If you're a winner, or if you've got that mentality to go out and find the solution to that puzzle or to whatever it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can, a lot of people talk about equipment, this, that, and the other. You can put another bat in, and you might not play in your hand, but you might not play great straight away. But them same players, after a certain amount of time, more times than not, will be at the top.
Yeah, and adaptability is massive, isn't it? That level.
And I think that comes in at a very young age. And
I think also, guys, on that, in England, I really do believe that coaches will look at a player who's very young, pitches something that you've said, and if the technique doesn't look like this, he's just written off. But yet, I think the irony is that a lot of our great players didn't have textbook technique.
Yeah, but the great players were probably already winning at that time with that technique. The issue I think we've got in England, going back to England, is we don't have the resources to necessarily say, okay, well, let's take them 30 people in, the ones with the good, the bad, and the ugly, or whatever it is. It's like you don't necessarily have the resources to that. And then again, that's where you have to have a supportive family. because without that, if you don't have parents or family or anything to drive you to training, tournaments, this, that, and the other, you're probably not going to be in the sport in a couple of years. But
yeah, that's true.
I think that's where, and again, that what I said, winning, it's not necessarily being good from that very young age, but it's having that mentality, and obviously you need the support behind you. But to be able to push through the back, some people maybe don't look that great at, like Pitch said, or might not be that great at 12, 13, 14, 15. But if they've got it and they're willing to push forward, I think eventually that will come through.
Yeah.
There's so much mental side to it, which you have to have, this is more my own weird personal experience, but I hadn't played for many years. Then I had to go and play British League recently. I couldn't play. The pressure, I was under the feelings. There's so much going on in your head when you play the sport.
I've seen some of the videos, I think.
It's such a... it's just like you feel so much. And for you boys, when you're playing like the World Championships, you're like, right, I've got to win this to, get the bronze, and all these different things going in your head. And it's such a long duration, 40-minute match. There's so much going on. And it's very, you have to always be concentrating, and that does take like a certain ability to have, it's not just the technical side. There's so much more to it. And that mental state is everything.
I think self-belief, and I think, again, across the world, but especially in England, we need to instill that and try and give that to the youngsters a lot earlier.
Raise people up, I think. Not always seeing the negatives in someone.
Yeah.
I think there's
a lot in England.
Yeah, and Pitch, I think one thing that I kind of saw over the years is you might get a junior years ago who was ranked above somebody but had a different technique, and the coaches wouldn't pick them. So we're not talking, they were winning, they were doing well, but they didn't like the way they played. So it's in other countries, would those players be given more opportunity? For instance, we talk about Ovcharov with the backhand from the middle of the table and stuff. There's no way in those days that the coaches in England would have allowed that to go. I don't think.
No. Absolutely
then he's a world-class player. It's just coaching things out of people. It takes someone with knowledge to say, look, I'm going to let this go, and they can develop that. That's not going to hold them back. They can turn that into a strength that will work at that level. Then you also need to be able to notice that technique is bad because it's not going to work at that level. Yeah. It's not about the way it looks. Is it going to work, and is it going to improve with time, or is it going to hold them back? And in England, I think we've very much been about, you've got to play this way.
Yeah, I think what you said there, Bales, about styles and someone slightly better with maybe not so good technique. If you're talking about a team event, then but is it just because of their technique they're not getting selected? If it is, then totally wrong. But if there's
that in there again, past, I think.
Yeah, maybe, but that's what I'm saying is there's normally more to selections than level. Again, if you pick him at a number 4, you're maybe not picking on technique, or maybe not even on who's going to win the match, or a number 5. Who, again, as we spoke about earlier, there's so much more that goes into players that are filling them positions than winning the match, and also than the foreign technique. And I think that's what I think people see a very simple solution to things, but they haven't thought about the 100 different things that need to be in place or need to be better in place to make that selection. It's just, I think they do all right, put them in. Like, teams don't work like that.
That's really interesting. So just before we pack up, boys, just another question that's come through that I think is really relevant. From Gergely Urban. Big shout out to Urfi, great guy. Good.
Are you on? Is he on? Is he?
Watching job, yeah.
Get up there.
It's
zero to hero.
Yeah, he's class. But he's raised a really good question on this. It's around kind of players leaving to go to Europe. Paul, I know we talked about this a while ago when we were chewing the fat on the phone.
I forgot about that, Bill.
What is the cut-off point for you guys recommending to leave for Europe? So if you're a junior, you get to a certain level, when do you go, when do you not go? What do you boys think? I think that's quite relevant to what we've discussed.
Yeah.
In terms of standard, in terms of age.
Yeah. I mean, for me, obviously I went when I finished my GCSEs at school. My parents wanted me to finish those, even though I didn't want to.
Liam, you will do your GCSEs.
Pretty much.
Well done, Mr. and Mrs. Pitchford. Great parenting, Mr. and Mrs. Pitchford.
Honestly, it was good for me. But then, at 16, 17, when Sheffield sort of closed, I had an opportunity to go to Oxnard, and I know that a lot of players probably won't get that opportunity. But, you know, there are other places around in Europe, and I think around that age, if you know it's what you want to do and you're 100% into it, then I think you need to go. I still recommend to anybody, any young player in England, that you need to go to.
So, Pitch, you were quite, as Will Bailey describes you, he's a tough northern boy. So you went at 17 and you were
What
probably
accent
ready.
was that, Phil? Sorry.
Yeah, it was difficult. I'm struggling with the accent. He does. He's a tough northern boy. That's what he says. So you went at 17, Liam, and in terms of standard, you were probably ready to go. In terms of maturity, you were probably ready to go. But there could be some people who were not ready mentally at that age to go. So what do you think about that, Paul? What do you think?
That's what I was going to say. Is I think there's a big difference, and for me, moving abroad is such a big thing, and I think it's a shame. Again, it's a shame at the minute that that's the only option. I mean, ideal world, as I said to you earlier, I think I'm very much behind having a centre or something where national players can be there. Whether it's people,
is that going to happen in the?
Maybe not, but I mean, if we talk about it enough on here, it might. So
Mills, Stanford, Cook, listen.
No, but again, that's my opinion. But I think having that option there for the youngsters, for people who aren't mentally ready to go abroad, be totally on their own full time. But
it's a big ask to someone at 17.
It is a big ask, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of the time as well, people go. And other countries do it, and they manage to some extent to certain players. But I think, like you said, going abroad, some players are ready, table tennis wise, to go abroad, but mentally they're not, and they're there, and they haven't really got. You know, there's a club coach sometimes who are helping them out and things, but most of the time when you first go, you're not part of that group. And I think Oxnard are very good with that. They try and get youngsters coming through and things. So that I don't know now, but before definitely, and probably still now, that's a very good place for a youngster to go. But I think a lot of other clubs and things, people think they're going to go there and they think they're going to improve. It's not reality. You know, you've got to go. You've still got to do the work. You've probably got to work harder than you did when you were at home. And also an important thing, and I think all the players that make it, or the people in life that make it, it's very important not to shy away from a loss or from things you're not good at. You attack them and you enjoy improving them. I think, again, mentalities and some of the players we've spoken about earlier today, you know, they shy away from that a little bit and focus on other things or other things going wrong and things. I think you've got to be true to yourself. Go out and for youngsters, that's what you've got to do. You've got to go out there, be true to yourself, do the best you can. But again, you need support. I think 16, 17 for me. I think, sorry, just quickly, I've spoken forever, I know. But again, my ideal would be national centre, players come there full time from when they finish their GCSEs. But between 16 and 20, for instance, they have to spend at least 1 year of that time abroad, learning from different coaches, different players, on your own in a way, learning. And people might go at 16, some people go at 19 when they're ready, but learning that side and
individual thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's no, you can't.
Yeah, I think I agree. You know, with just going abroad, you can't just go abroad and then automatically think you're going to make it. You still have to put the work in, and I just think just the standard of practice is obviously a lot higher than the younger players are getting in England at the moment. For me, I think I'm a firm believer in you have to go out of your comfort zone to improve that. You know, for me, the times where I felt I've made my biggest decisions in my life or career or whatnot, I've seen after that a big improvement in my game. So I think it's a massive step, you know, for kids to go abroad and live out there. But for me, I think if you want to make the next step. I don't see a national centre happening in the next 10, 15 years. As long as I'm playing, I can't see it happening. It'd be nice, I think. That's what we've always wanted since Sheffield's closed.
I'll get onto it, Pitch. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, well, I mean, Matthew Stanford's commented and he keeps saying, stop it. So no, Matthew, we won't stop it. We will continue to harass you and see if you guys can. It's difficult, funding and all these things.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not, again, like I said about the selection, there's no easy way to it.
Yeah. No. Dan, what's your thoughts on that? 16, 17-year-old, 18, what do you think?
The boys have covered it well. I think, obviously, I went abroad, to be fair, when I was 19 to France for 6 months. It was a great experience. And I was 19, so it was a pretty decent age. I had to cook on my own. I had to do everything, like washing and all these things that you don't do. Liam went when he was 16. That's young. And actually, I think Louis is looking to do something similar, right, at 16 years old. But yeah, there's a lot to
Louis Price, this is,
I think his plan to do something like that. But, the thing is a lot to it. It's not just training. You don't just practice. There's everything around that. And it's hard. It's hard. Dimitri Chochov didn't go to England when he was 16. He stayed in Germany. And I think these boys are right in that there does need to be a national centre long term, because it isn't great for the guy. I mean, maybe it is a good thing. I mean, Liam and Paul have got to the best, they've reached the top level. So maybe it is a working solution. It does work. It's just...
I think I first moved abroad when I was 20 or something.
Sorry.
Yeah. What's that? Sorry, Liam?
I don't think that plan is sustainable, Okay, me and Paul went abroad and made it. That doesn't mean, two kids that just go abroad are going to do the same. I think we have to have a system in place where you have those kids training together and work, in England, working for the same goal. I don't think you can necessarily just send them abroad.
It's not ideal, really, because you boys went because you didn't have the option to stay and get the practice at home. So it wasn't like a choice. Really, to improve your level, you had to go.
Yeah. That's where a national centre would probably help the retention of all the other next tier players, and then all the young juniors coming through and just connect everything together.
Well, I had that. I think the national centre at the time in Sheffield, I don't know how old. Well, I was 20, 21 when I first moved to Italy. So I had that.
You also had Nottingham.
Yeah, but again, that was different because I think that was the time of the whole, if you like, or whatever we want to call it. I don't think the senior players then were sort of paving the way for the next generation.
No, but as a 12-year-old, you had some good juniors. You had your brother and these guys to watch, to kind of hit into, because they were better than you.
Was he good?
He's all right. He was okay.
I'm only joking, Bryn.
He's not joking, Bryn. He's not joking.
No, I am. He was. And
can we just say that's a good point? Bryn was a class act. Bryn was quality.
He still is, Dan. He still is.
He's a class act on the table. Do you think then it's in like your blood to be a top player? Like,
Dan, this has got to be a topic for another week.
Yeah. But me and my brother played. We weren't no Paul Drinkle, Bryn Drinkle. We trained 4 hours a day when we were 9 years old, 10.
Dan, you didn't have a Stephen Bailey to look at.
Huh?
You didn't have a Stephen Bailey.
I didn't have Steve Bailey in the training hall.
That's why.
I had the pocket rocket. But yeah, no, look. All I'm saying is like, this needs to be another topic for another time, because I love the whole nature versus nurture thing, and I like talking about that sort of stuff. But
a bit deep in it, Dan.
It's so deep, yeah.
Sunday night.
Okay, guys, I think we should wrap up there. I've just got a notification that David Macbeth is watching. Dave, you made our World Championships team.
Get up there, Dave.
Just to let you know, Dave, you've just logged on. So well done, mate. We all picked you.
People have probably been messaging. People have probably been messaging him. That's why he's come on. He's like, these guys must be all right.
So thank you to everybody who's commented. We've had loads of guys commenting. Big thank you. Thanks, obviously, to you boys and for everyone listening to my Teesside Drone. We're going to be back next Sunday at 7:30. We are going to look for topics. We're going to look and see. So please, guys, if you do have a topic, like, comment, and share. We're going to put it on our YouTube channel as well, Pitch and Paul Talking Balls. So if you've got any comments to make, please make them, and we will try to look at them and work them into some questions for the guys to answer and look at. So we've went on for a fair bit there.
Yeah, we've gone on, haven't we?
I blame Steve.
We've gone over. So thanks for watching and for you guys for taking part. And I guess we will see you all next week.
Nice
Cheers,
one,
guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Peace out.
See you later.